Hey y'all, what's happening? What's happening? Robert Kennedy III here, RK3. That's me. Welcome to another episode of the Monday Morning Get Up, the show where we give you a little bit of inspiration, motivation, and elevation, getting you ready to start out your week. So here is my question for the week. Have you ever gotten good or even great at something? Then you come back later on and it's like, you forgot everything that you learned. Have you ever gotten good or great at something and then you come back and it's like you've forgotten what you've learned? Let's talk about it this morning on the Get Up. Hey, Rich Graham, how you doing? So glad that you're here. Patsy, how you doing this morning? Stefan Calm, woo, good to see you this morning. Spray Paint Auto, listen, love it. Glad that you're here this morning. Thanks for joining us on the show. Paolo De Polfi, good to see you this morning. Lukey, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. Doris J, yes, glad you're in the house this morning. Mr. Cakes 11, MG Cakes 11, so glad that you're here this morning. Shell Boss, hey, I'm so glad that you're here this morning. Maria, what's happening this morning? Yes, Melissa, how you doing this morning? Angel, good to see you this morning. I'm so glad that you're here on the Monday Morning Get Up with us this morning. Do me a favor. If you have somebody that you know needs a message and needs to get up and get rocking and rolling this week, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Share the show with them. Yeah, click that share button right now and get it out to them. If you want to know when I'm going live, as a matter of fact, do me a favor. You can also click this QR code. Where is it at? Right here. Okay. You can click that QR code and you can go to my community text number and you can get notified by when we're going live. Okay. Or you can just dial, not dial. I said dial. That's an old word, isn't it? Or you can just text 410-936 4049 410-936 4049, and that'll give you the inside scoop on some stuff. Matter of fact, one more thing. If you want access to some resources, right? Some of the things that I shared not only this morning but during the week, etc. If you want access to those, if you want to be a better storyteller, if you want to be a better communicator, if you want to be more confident in how you present your messages, then get connected. RK3, that's me. You can see that down here. All right. So let's jump in. Gadget Pro, so glad that you're here this morning. Good to see you this morning. Let's jump in. So I want to share a quick story before I jump into the quote of the week. For those of you who have been with us before, how we do this is I share a quote, something that resonated with me, and then I share some stories and thoughts and inspirations around that quote. But before I get to the quote, I want to share a little bit of a backstory. So I asked you the question about getting good or great at something and then coming back later and you forgot how to do it, right? So as a kid, I lived in Montreal, Canada, Quebec, Canada, for a little bit over a year, about maybe a year and a few months, right? And as a kid, it was interesting. My dad was there for school. My dad was going to McGill University at the time, and he was pastoring at a church. Westmount in the house. All right. My dad was pastoring, and my dad was there at McGill University. And so we were with him. Now, the school that I went to as a little kid in Montreal, Canada, was an English school, but there was this one class, geography, right? Géographie, yeah, something like that. I'm trying to get my French accent back. There was this class that we had to take that was totally in French. It wasn't like one of those classes that they translate stuff for you and you got to figure out the meaning and you say, "Oh, comment allez-vous?" Does what means what, right? It does there was no translation. It was full immersion, right? It was full immersion. So the book was in French. There was no translations. Everything was in French. The teacher came in from the beginning and just spoke in French, no English, except that time that I got in trouble. Then he sent me to the office in English. But anyway, that's another story. But it was in French. So in order to understand this class, in order to make it through this class, I had to pick up French. I had to understand French in some ways. I had to learn how to get along, in this class. And so as a kid, you're about 8 years old. Kids pick up languages a little bit easier. And so as a kid, I picked up French enough to converse and to make it through this geography class, right? So after coming back to the US, came back to the US, and I had this experience where I heard someone speaking French and I even understood what was being said, but I had a brain freeze. My brain couldn't respond out of my mouth, right? They responded, they asked me something and I understood and I heard it, but I couldn't respond out of my mouth. And my brain had this moment where it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I should be able to respond to that. I should know that. What the heck is going on? Why am I not able to do that? Right. And I don't know if you've had that experience in your life, right? And where it's like, I know this, I should be able to do this because you've done it before, because you've experienced it before, but for some reason right now you're not able to. Or maybe you've had the opposite experience. Maybe you've had the opposite experience. So several months ago, I was training for a bicycle event and I was riding regularly, right? And this bicycle event was a birthday event and I was supposed to do 100 miles, a century, for those of you who have never done that, right? And up to the day of the event, the most that I had ridden was 60 miles. That was the most that I had written. So you can imagine that on the day of the event, I had some measure of OMG, am I going to be able to do this? So I start writing and the event is going along and we get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles and we get close to 60 miles. And as we're getting to 60, my mind is mentally anticipating a little bit of tiredness. But we get to 60 and I push past the 60 and we get to 70 and I'm surprised at how my body feels, right? I was doing more than I ever had before, but I didn't feel broken, right? The day after the 100, I had to take a trip to New York for some speaking and training that I had to do, but I didn't feel sore. I felt ready for the week and I was surprised at how my body felt. Right? So I've just shared with you the two experiences. In one experience, you've gone through something, you learned how to do something, and then it's like you forgot how to do it. And the other experience is that you didn't exactly do something, but you were able to do it. Well, what do I mean, or what am I even talking about? Well, here's today's quote by Steve Maraboli. It says, "Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We simply get stronger and more resilient." Right? Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. So here's what I'm talking about. So if I go back to the story of being able to speak French or going to class in French, sometimes we go through life and we do certain things and we expect that once we get to a certain space, that space becomes we own that space and we stay at that space. And then life goes on and things move on and time moves and we come back and we recognize that we lost a step, right? We expected it to be easy now, but something has happened, life has moved on, and it's not easy anymore. Right? Sometimes we get to a certain place and we expect life to be easy from there, but that's not how life works. Life isn't easier or more forgiving. Let's flip to the other side now. I was in the race and I'm going forward, and I had only done up to a certain place. I only believed that I had a certain capacity, but unbeknownst to me, because I was doing certain things regularly, my capacity was greater than I thought it was at the time, right? I got stronger. I got more resilient. I was able to do 100 miles because of resilience, because of friends, because of community, because of motivation. You know, all of those different things put into giving me the opportunity and the ability to be able to finish that challenge, right? So here's what came to mind for me as I think through this quote. Life doesn't get any easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Here's what come to mind for me. Technology has spoiled us. Technology has spoiled us. We're always looking for convenience. We're always looking for convenience. We're always looking for the easy button. Now, convenience isn't a bad thing, right? We want to be more productive. We want to do things better. We want things to be easier, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, we've let convenience in a lot of cases be the defining factor or priority, and we've tricked ourselves into focusing on that, right? And we spend so much time searching for an easier way instead of searching for the better way, right? I'm looking at my wrist right now. I've got this thing that tracks so much of my day. I've got this thing that lets me know how much I exercise. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I exercise, if I'm not wearing this, it doesn't feel like I exercise because it wasn't tracked. I don't see it on here. Oh no, I don't have my watch, so it didn't record, so it didn't happen. We fooled ourselves a little bit, right? So we spend so much of our time searching for convenience or searching for the easy way instead of searching for the better way. But that's just not how life is set up. I remember being blown away because I was thinking about, from a financial perspective, I was thinking about how some people have a better life than others, right? I was thinking about how some people have money and some don't. And because you have money, your life is automatically just better. But I remember reading a book. I remember reading this story, and while I won't go into the details of the story, I remember being blown away by reading this sentence in that book. And it said, "The poor struggle wondering when they will get more, and the rich struggle wondering when they will lose it all." That's what happens in life. We look at other people and we kind of feel like they have something better than we do. The whole grass is greener mentality, right? They have it easier than we do. They don't have the struggle that I do. And you are right. They don't have the struggle that you do, but you also don't have the struggle that they have. Physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it is. There's some people that show up in the world and it seems like they've got it all together, but they are spiritually tormented. They are emotionally tormented. They just, my goodness. Yeah. Marvin says it's all relative. Yes, it is. It is. Life is mainly about choosing the set of problems that you want to deal with. That's really what it is. There's some things that may be easy for you, but may be challenging for somebody else. Some things easy for somebody else, but are challenging for you. I'm grateful for the problems that I have. I want some different problems sometimes, but I'm grateful for the problems that I have. I'm grateful that I don't have, at this time in my life, health challenges. I've got people, I know people that have the challenge of lupus or MS or even cancer. I know people that have had those challenges. I don't have those challenges currently. And I'm grateful, super grateful for that. But I have other challenges. I've got some financial things. I've got some business things. I've got some family things. Got to deal with those things. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We simply get stronger or more resilient. So here's what I want you to focus on for this week. All right? Instead of looking for the easy button, embrace doing hard things, because hard things are essential for growth. Instead of looking for the easy button, embrace doing hard things, because hard things are essential for growth. A friend of mine shared this book with his kids several years ago. It's called Doing Hard Things, A Teenage Rebellion. Look that up on Amazon. I believe I may have put it into the comments or into the caption above, right? Doing Hard Things. There's another book called The Art of Resilience, or Do Hard Things, how resilience shapes us. Embrace, and that's what I want to share with you this week. Focus on that. Embrace doing hard things, because hard things are essential for your growth. And the second thing that I want to leave with you before we jump off of here this week is quit comparing your behind the scenes to everybody else's highlight reel. Stop comparing your problems to other people's social media feeds. I'll say that one more time. Quit comparing your behind the scenes to everybody else's highlight reels. The thing is, your behind the scenes, your challenges, your struggles, your problems, your stuff is your story. Your stuff is designed to help you get stronger and more resilient. And the question that you've got to ask yourself this week, today, is, will I pass that test? Yeah, everybody's got a test, all of us. 7 billion plus people of us on this earth, all of us, every last one of us have a test that we've got to walk through each day. If I'm looking forward, if I'm saying, oh my gosh, I can't wait until it gets easier. Oh my gosh, I can't wait until I get to go on vacation, or I wish I could have a longer vacation. Yes, vacation is great. I'm looking forward to my next vacation, right? But I'm not looking forward to it because it's going to be easier. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be a change of perspective. I'm looking forward to it because I'll get to visit, I'll add a different place. I'll add something else to my repertoire. But I'm not looking for easier, because easier doesn't make me better. Easier doesn't cause me to grow. Easier doesn't cause me to be stronger. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger. We get more resilient. We decide, we choose to persevere. And as we do that, that's how we navigate this space. That's how we become better. And that's how we become transformational for others. That's how we show up in a way that makes other people look and say, oh my gosh, Dee Dee, how did she make it through that? Marvin, how did he make it through that? Rich, oh my gosh, Rich made it through that. Oh my gosh, Khalil made it through that. Okay, Patil, all right? Bam's Cake More, McFadden Ministries, right? Nadine, how did they make it through that? Yeah. Live that life that allows others to wonder how you made it through that, and say to themselves, I can make it through that too. If Marvin made it through, if Jerry made it through, if Michael made it through, if Robert made it through, it's possible that I can make it through too. Your life all of the different things. Your stuff is your story. So you've got to tell that story, share that with somebody, because all of that helps to fulfill your purpose. And I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I believe all of us have the same purpose. And that purpose is to make a difference, to transform the life of even one person while we're here. How we do that shows up differently through the gifts and the skills and the talents that we have. But our job, our purpose, is to transform the life of at least one person. So who's that person? Seek out that person. Look for that person today. All right. Because life doesn't get any easier for you or for them. We simply get stronger or more resilient. And today, if you've got a little bit of strength, if you've got a little bit more strength than somebody else, it's your job to share and show somebody else how they too can be stronger by you pushing through and embracing your hard things. Hey, y'all, that's all we got for today. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I got to go do some things. I got to go do some hard things. I got to go meet with my team. I got to go create my strategy for the week. Oh, yeah. And I am going to do something fantastic, amazing. Y'all go do your amazing this week as well. All right, y'all. Oh, yeah. See you next week on the Monday Morning Get Up. Join me. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, whatever time it is on the eastern coast of the United States of America. All right, y'all. Peace.